have like one of the concepts we have is this task for the summit. It's a little bit out of date. I have to update this, but we basically keep putting this. And what works really well, like for example with Casio, is like I think just that like little story of what happened with Casio is a great case study of like how the summit allows other people to participate. How if you're proactive, you suddenly find yourself in a place of quite some good responsibility. So I think for some whatever reason, Cassie said, "Oh, I think I could help, or I would be interested in help." So what I was doing, right, for the last 2 weeks was anybody that could have a hint that was interested and wanted to help, I basically sent them this link. So I basically, what happened? Can I?
Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, I don't know. They need to configure the NVIDIA driver.
Oh, okay. All right. So I basically sending these guys the link for the to-do list with no owner. So the whole idea is that that's where we place the things that needs to be done that has no owner. And one of them was make a PowerPoint brochure. And then first of all was make a template, then was make a PowerPoint brochure. And then so Cassie came and said, okay, I'll do that. So he did it, then he made a couple of versions, we commented, and we actually have a great PowerPoint, the one I'm presenting. And it's sort of kind of, a lot of it is revolved around that. So everything that we're doing, if you guys want to help, that's the place to help. And it's also interesting because then it becomes really easy to see who's doing and who's not doing. And then, as always with OWASP, you have quite a big number of guys initially who says they want to help. And that might even help a little bit in the beginning, but then the people who actually do something, that you can consider to be meaningful, right? Something that it wouldn't take you 5 minutes to do, right? Like the PowerPoint. The PowerPoint is great. That thing saved me 3 hours. I love it because if he hadn't done it, one of us would have to do it. So, one of the things that, for me, it's important with events like the summit is I also, view it as a great way to, to create teams, to create dynamics, to really get, you guys seen all this, so we don't need this, to, get the people working together. Now, where's the, okay, cool. Where's the actual, do you only have two? Oh, okay. Cool. So, because you guys story, right? The main thing of the summer was actually came by the fact that we had 30 projects with basically 70 reviewers, and it became quite apparent that we actually had something which is a little bit unique to OWASP, which is that we actually have people working together. And I know that sounds a bit crazy, but if you look at a lot of open source projects, there's not a lot of collaboration going on. There is some, but a lot of open source projects, or even OWASP project, one guy, he does a lot of stuff. Then some guys give some comments, and that's it. Like even big projects like WebScarab or WebGoat, you talk to the guys who wrote it, and they're like, dude, nobody talks to me. The amount of feedback that they get, even for the amount of users that they have, is just like absolutely, not very good. So one of the things that I realized that OWASP could also do is we could also be a facilitator to get real power users to projects. So we can also say, hey, then we can artificially create them because with the reviewers, that's what we did. The reviewers is almost like we artificially injecting two resources into a project that actually you're going to have to read the project, read the documentation, test the thing, document it. And actually what happens on some projects is that they become active contributors, which is what I was expecting to happen. Didn't happen everywhere, but you already have a couple of cases where suddenly like the lines between the reviewer and the contributor become a bit blurry, which actually becomes a bit of a problem because a reviewer shouldn't really be contributing, right? But then, that's like something we need to work around that. So that's all. One of the things that we really need to, figure out how to do is to really raise the quality of everything that OWASP does. And by the way, feel free to ask questions. It's supposed to be like an interactive, right, session. So one of the ideas that I quite liked from yesterday was, the whole idea of focusing the summit on, in 2009, on the three core ideas, which is defend, focus, and proactivity, and proactive. And I still want to play a bit more with those, themes, or maybe we should find others. But I quite like the idea that gives us something that we can really be, focused. It's the irony, right? That actually allows us to focus because we can really target it. So, like if you look at this, the reality is that we could do this next week. So, if we look at it from a pure point of view of operational, we could do the summit next week as long as the people turn up, right? The summit would work. And even if we only had 80 people, right, turn up, and we happen to pay for 70 of those, or 100 people and we pay for 80, I think it will be still a remarkable success. But the reality is that we have an opportunity to make a really big event. We really have, it's not about failing, because it will be a success. The question is, how much of a success is it going to be? So it's almost like it's up to the team, it's up to the people who are creating the summit, and all of you are absolutely invited to help to become an active organizer, right? And by the way, if you guys didn't notice on the Summer of Code, all our rules for sponsorship are designed to reward contributors. So it's almost like if Matteo makes a proposal, I almost don't read it, because Matteo has delivered, right? Juan makes a proposal for internalization, or Leonardo, I'm not going to read it. I will, but not read it to the point of view of, can I trust? My only question would be when I or we discuss the budget, is how much money can we, in proportion, or how much support? Because I would like to also start introducing resources, for example, this. Okay, this is very important. So if we have this available, and let's say we got 3 guys available, well, they should be working for the projects. Because if a project has a need, and they should be able to say, well, I need that block done, I don't want to do it, right? Or I need that block as part of my project, I want another resource. So it's also a great way for OWASP to to increase the value that it provides us. And in case you guys haven't noticed, we are all trying to figure this out, right? Sometimes OWASP looks much bigger than it is. It's not. It's me, Sebastian, Tom, Dave and Jeff, and then a bunch of project leaders, right? A bunch of chapter leaders, and that's it, right? That's OWASP in a nutshell, right? In fact, like I said, the New York board has more structure, right, than the OWASP itself, and more procedures and more things than the OWASP itself. So, that's one of the things that we really need to figure out in Portugal. So the big opportunities are, what can we actually do with the summit? So my vision for it was that we can have the working sessions, which is our ways to get things done. We have the training, which is a way to get OWASP projects out at the forefront, which is great, because for the first time, we actually have OWASP training courses. Somebody wants to learn about WebScar, WebGoat, even some, ISAPI or ASP security, or the source code review, and even the top 10 that Sebastian is going to teach. We finally have that. So in some ways, what we need to figure out now, and what we're going to try to do for the next month, is how can we really make the summit a great success? And think about it, right? If we can make this success, we can have 2 of these a year, right? So we can be going around the world for a week to a nice 5-star hotel and work, but have a great time. What I don't like still about our conferences is that we don't pay enough attention to the OWASP community. So you land here, right? You don't know who is who. Nobody gets you from the airport. You arrive here, and they might be in this hotel. So it's almost like if you plot the hotel and you put a dot where the OWASP guys, you